Okay, guys, so SQ3R stands for three things. There's five boxes in each of these. What does that first one say, guys? Amen. What is that first box? So there's a 1 next to that first one. What does it say? Yep. What's that word? Survey. Survey. What's the second? What's the Q stand for? Desiree, what's Q stand for? Question. Tim, what's the first R stand for, bud?
Pardon the interruption. I need someone from Bergdorfer, Carter Brown, Clapp, Wilson, and Urban to pick up your overdue slips. Thank you.
Didn't call our name, bud. What's the third? What's the second R, guys? What's the second R stand for? Gustavo, what's that say, bud? No, the second R. Or the first R, excuse me, the first R. What's that first R stand for? What? Read. What about the second R? Tim? Recite. Emily, can you tell us that third R? Or that very last R? Review. Okay, guys, so this is kind of a little graphic organizer we're going to go over today. With this graphic organizer, it has kind of the steps that we are going to use when we are reading an article. I passed out an article to you. That article says how government works. What is citizenship? With that article, guys, we are going to read through it as a group. Guys, so as we are reading this article, we're going to do all of these things. So our first one is survey. So guys, does anybody know what survey means?
A quiz.
Guys, what does survey mean?
A quiz.
What? So guys, when we are surveying something, we are going to analyze it. We are going to look at it. We are going to go over all the details. So let's look at our article real quick. I want us to look at our article real quick. We're not going to worry about it. Survey, guys. So what is our title of our article first? How government works. What is citizenship? So, guys, I want us to go through these. We're going to take 1 minute to kind of look at each one of these steps or each one of these. So we have a picture. We have some subheadings. So grab your article, look through these, read those subheadings, look at the picture, analyze it. I want you, each and every single person, to be looking at their article right now. Come on. Get your... So guys, just kind of survey it, look around it, analyze. Analyze what that article is. Try to identify what we're going to be reading about. Okay, so now that we've had a couple minutes to kind of look at that, we can now try to answer a couple questions. So guys, even though right now we have a graphic organizer, this is something that I want us to be doing whenever we're reading. So maybe we're reading an article in science, maybe we're reading an article in social studies, maybe we're reading an article in math. I know that's not necessarily the most likely place. Turn around, face forward. Move your body. Thank you. Okay, so here's some kind of basic questions, guys, that we should be trying to answer every time. So, what is the topic of our text? What do we think the topic of our text is, guys? What? Rules? Okay, that's one person. Anybody else have any other answers? What do you think? Why do you say rules? Just because Abraham said it?
Listen.
What's up? The government? Okay. That's a great thing. So, guys, when you're looking at this, these are just some basic things. So, right here, guys, where it says, what is the topic of our text? I want us all to write down. Rules. Rules. Government. So those are a couple things that we identified. Yes, I can. We'll look right next to it. Good morning, Miss Hall. How are you? Guys, next thing, what is the title of our text? We've gone over this a couple times. So what is it, Abraham, again? Okay, so how government works, what is citizenship? So that should be the next thing we write down, guys. That second question, how government works. What is citizenship? Okay. Okay, guys. So the next thing. So we've already kind of scanned through our article a little bit, but how is this organized? So we have our titles, but what are the other things? Do we have subtitles, headings, chapters? What do we think? Someone other than Abraham. Devin, what do we got, bud? What do you think? You don't know? What do you think? Sentences. Okay, well, most things will be, okay, most papers and articles will be organized in sentences and paragraphs, but we're getting somewhere. Anybody else have anything? What do you say? Guys, what is the title of our article? What is the title of our article? Look at your article and you should be able to find that. So, Abraham, how are we organizing this, bud? So we're doing headings, or we could do subtitles. So that's our next thing that we're going to write down. So we're going to go with headings. So that's what I want you to write in our third question. Headings.
Teachers, please pardon the interruption. We had a glitch with attendance this morning. If you can please log out of Infinite Canvas and log back in, your attendance should be correct. You'll probably have to take it again for FA. I don't know if that's saved if you took it already. Thank you. Please log back out and log back in to take attendance. Thank you.
Okay, what's our next question? What's it say, guys? So, describe a picture or graphic in our text. So, Kaylin, on the back of that first page, what's that picture look like, honey? Can you look at that? Well, let's look at it. So what's this picture look like, guys? me think of it. Someone besides Abraham and I. That's all I'm getting from this picture. Okay, go on. Tim, what's that picture look like? What's in the picture? What are we seeing? Okay, a group of citizens. That's a good guess, Jabari. What are we seeing in that picture? People doing this. Okay. What do you think that means? What do you think that this? What do you think that raise your hand like this means, guys?
They doing that. They got a flag in it.
Okay. So that people with their hands up, and a flag in their hand. Let's put that down. Not much room. Okay, guys, people with their hands up with a flag in their hand. That's all I want you to write down. Mine doesn't quite fit on there, but we can make it work. Okay, what does the Q stand for again?
Question.
The second one is questions. So, guys, we have a spot for 3 questions, but I just want to do 2 for right now. We're going to run out of time if we sit here and do 3 questions. So today, let's do 2 questions. So, first things first, guys. Do you know what citizenship is? What does it mean to be a citizen? Does everybody know what that means? Abraham? Okay, people. What do you think?
The citizens of the U.S.
Okay. That's something. Guys, does everybody know what that means, though? I think that would be a really good question. That'd be a great first question. So, first of all, it's kind of like the title of our article. What is a citizen? In order to understand this article, are we going to need to know that? Yeah, it's going to be a pretty important part of what we're doing. If we don't know what a citizen by the end of our article is, it's going to be tough to understand what we're reading about. Guys, what's one more question? What's one more question somebody has from our article? What's something? So, guys, let's look through our article and try to identify something we don't know.
Ooh, mister.
All right.
What is the paragraph about?
What is the paragraph about? Okay. We're still trying to look a little bit more. So, guys, give me one question. One question and we'll move on. What is the government? Okay, we'll take that. We'll take that. Still kind of a part of our title. So, what is the government? Anybody still writing? Okay. So what is our next R, guys? What is our first R? Excuse me. What is our first R? Read. Read. So that's what we're going to start on today, guys. So let's get to the very front. Let's make sure we're looking at our article. Guys, let's make sure our article is in front of us. Abraham, could you start us out by reading that first paragraph for us, bud? Okay, great job,
So I was
great job.
right, mister.
You were right, you were. So guys, when we're going through these, let's also remember our questions, because one of our next two R's is going to be to go over those questions. Guys, I'm going to read the rest of this one. So, countries give citizens certain rights. The country promises to protect these rights. In the United States, citizens have the right to practice any religion. The government promises the right to citizens and cannot take it away. In return, citizens have duties. A duty is something that they must do. It is kind of like a trade. Citizens owe these things to their country. They get these rights in exchange. For example, following the law is a duty. So, paying taxes. So is paying taxes. Taxes pay for things people in the country need. These include roads and schools. So, guys, for example, that's a great one to look at. So, schools, through our taxes, that is how we pay for school. So, our taxes allow us to be here. Our taxes allow us to have a projector, allow us to have this entire building. They allow us to have the paper that we're writing on. So, taxes are an important thing. And as an American citizen, guys, you have to pay taxes. So, for example, me and Miss Hall, out of every paycheck, guys, we have money that goes to not only our federal government, but also our state government. So, there's that as an American citizen, it is our duty to have a job and pay our taxes. Also, guys, when you go to Quick Trip and you buy a candy bar, have you ever noticed, so it says 99 cents for a candy bar, but you pay $1.08? That extra 9 cents or whatever that you pay, that's what you're paying in taxes. Okay, guys, so this next part, citizenship and nationality are not always the same. Citizenship and nationality are not always the same. Desiree, could you read that first paragraph for us? Make sure you say it loud. Oh, you good? Okay. Tim, can you read that first one for us, bud? That first paragraph? You got it. Say it loud. Say it proud. So, first paragraph, citizenship and nationality are always the same. Abraham, thanks for work. Okay, guys, so maybe there was a person that was born in a different country. So if you were born in a different country, your nationality would be from that country. But if you've been here for a certain amount of years, if you have passed the citizenship, you can still be an American citizen, even though your nationality is from a different country. So guys, I'm going to take it from here. So sometimes people move. They go to a new country. The people are not from that country. They are also not citizens. They try to become citizens, though. This can take a long time. Guys, this is kind of something that we have a pretty big talking point in our country right now. That's kind of why I picked this out for us to look at. We have a lot of people that come to this that really want to be a part of the United States because there's so many great things here. And they're trying to become citizens. So, our next one, guys, our next heading is countries have different rules on citizenship. So, guys, when we're looking at this, we're going to analyze and see maybe we're going to compare. Remember, we did a compare and contrast unit. Maybe we'll be looking at the comparison of the United States and another country. Emily, can you read that first paragraph for us, honey? Countries have different rules on citizenship. Let's be looking at our article. Come on. Abraham, hold on. Guys, I don't know. If you are not following along, I'm not sure what you're doing. You should have your article in front of you. We are on the second page. We are on the second page, the back side. Emily, can you start for us, honey, please? So they also decide how people can become citizens. That's an extremely important part of this, guys. So the United States may have different rules than Mexico or Canada or somewhere across. So it may take a certain amount of years here. It may take a certain amount of years somewhere else. So in many places, there are four main ways to become a citizen. The first is to be born in that country. That is the easiest way. The second is to have a parent who is a citizen. The third is to marry a citizen. The fourth way is a little different. People must follow certain steps to do. If they do, they become citizens. So, guys, we should be on the third page, following along. Steps are different in different countries. Most countries want people to live in the country for many years. The person might have to speak the country's language too. They might have to take the test. The test is on the country's history and laws. It is supposed to show if the person is ready to live there. So guys, when a person becomes a citizen of the United States, they have a nationality test that they have to actually take. When they're taking that test, it'll show if they're going to be able to, if they understand the laws and rules of our country. If you don't know the laws and rules of this country, are you going to be able to live here and be successful?
No.
Probably not. Probably not. So, guys, we're going to move on to our last part, and I'll just read this one all the way through. Voting, other rights, and duties. Abraham, did you want to read? You want to read? Read our first paragraph. Okay. So, every country is a little different. Some people have different, or some countries have different laws. Even though a lot of them will have the same basic ones, there could be little things that are different. Yes, sir. Okay.
Isn't FA longer?
Is this relevant to our writing? No, so we're not going to be. We've gone over this before. So, in many countries, citizens have the right to vote. They can choose their leaders. They might also have the right to be elected to government jobs. They can become police chiefs or mayors. They might have the right to follow any. They might have the right to follow any religion. They might have the right to speak freely. Guys, get your heads up. Jabari, head up. Okay. So guys, not every country has the freedom of religion. There's some countries that their governments are actually based on religion. So, you can't necessarily be a Christian in some countries, you can't necessarily be Jewish in some countries. You can be those, but it goes against kind of what the government is based on. So, citizens have many duties. They have to follow a duty to follow laws. They might have a duty to go to school. That's kind of your duty, guys. In some countries, citizens have to serve in the army. And some duties are also rights. Voting is a right, yet it is also a duty. It keeps governments working the right way. Okay, guys. So now that we have this part, we're going to move on to recite. So, what does it mean to recite? What do you think does it mean to recite? One more time. So not necessarily try to find the answer. Yes,
Write a short summary from the text.
Okay, actually, good job.
In your own words.
Perfect. Write a short summary of the text in your own words, guys. So, what did we learn from the text? What is citizenship?
A member of the UN.
So, okay, is it necessarily just a member of the USI?
Yeah.
Could it be other countries?
Oh yeah.
So, can we instead of putting the U.S., can we put all specific countries?
Canada.
So becoming a part of the country.
It's too bright, Mr. Jingles, right?
Turn that light off. Bud.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. We gotta keep it on. We're gonna go with that one. Perfect. That's a little bit better.
Where Mike is? I couldn't see Mike. I couldn't see him. Dude, I looked at you. I was like, where he goes?
Mike, get to right. Let's go. Yes, ma'am. So becoming a part of a specific country. Guys, do you have to be born to be a citizen? Well, okay, do you have to be born in that country to be a citizen? No, we talked about nationality. So, do not have to be born. Okay, guys, so you do not have to be born here, but you do have to follow a path to citizenship. You have to follow a path to citizenship.
Switch the light.
No, well, this is actually better. We've already done it. It's too dark. It's too dark. Let's see it.
Oh, Mr. Christian,
Yes, sir.
is Sam's Club? What is it? Is the guy that made Sam's Club the same guy that made Walmart?
Yes.
Yeah. His name Sam.
Walt. Walt. So Walt, we get in Walmart.
In Walmart.
Sam Walt. Okay, guys. So for this next part, review. Answer each of the questions that we generated before the text. So, what is a citizen? What is the government? Guys, I want you to do this once individually. So, once you're done answering those questions, come back here, give it to me, and I'll give you your Chromebook. Come back here. So, once you do finish answer these two questions, come back, give it to me, and I will give you your Chromebook.
Can I go to space on the master? You got breezy face. Dude.
Jabari, answer those questions. Guys, answer to the best of your ability. You need to look back at the article. That's great. To the best of your ability. Once you're done, you can hand that to me and get your Chromebook.